Welcome back to DohMance Dawn, your primary show for discussing Simpsons and One Piece. If you've got a better show doing this than us,
We'll take them out.
yeah, no. I mean, if we're in the same town, yeah, we can go and have a nice dinner together and talk about these
And
two
murder them.
with kindness. I'm
And
Luke.
also this knife I found.
That's my good knife, Janine. Please don't use it unless you're like aware of how to use it because you can nick it on bones, then you have to get it sharpened, and it's. Hi, I'm Luke. He, him, sometimes they, them. I'm joined by my lovely co host, Janine.
Hello, it is I, Janine. My pronouns are she, they, and I don't have a third thing to say.
And we are joined this week by our lovely guest, Marian Gonzalez.
Well, I'm really more handsome than lovely.
You can be both. You can be both.
Pronouns are it's it. But I am from California, so yeah, there you go. I said my own punchline before that. Yeah, I have the ice cream pronouns. It's it.
It's it.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite ice cream sandwich that apparently doesn't get sold outside of California.
I've heard of it. I've heard that they're like that you can mess up your teeth going nuts on them.
Yeah, they're like a Klondike bar, but without the chocolatey outside.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wild. I have never heard of this before.
We're in different parts of the country.
I'm in Ohio.
Austin, Texas.
North Hollywood.
Yeehaw. Well, we are very happy to have you here. We are very happy to be recording. Uh, welcome to our show about One Piece and The Simpsons. What is your background with The Simpsons?
I have been watching this program since 1989. Actually have been watching this program probably since 1987. I remember pretty clearly the Tracy Ullman shorts and just following that along to, well, I guess they've got their own show now. Let's see what happens here. And I just kind of kept doing that until 2005 when I got distracted, and that's about it, really. I heard there was a movie, and I know I saw it.
Fair enough. Well, this would have been before that movie came out. Do you know? You said, was it around 2005 when you fell
Oh
out,
yeah,
or?
yeah. About 2005 is when I fell out. Actually, I think the run of shows that the run of episodes that we're doing for this week may have a pretty clear memory of those because we were doing a lot of prep for our wedding, which is 18 years ago is 2005. Yeah. That's how math works.
Time. Yeah. Well, that is a long experience with The Simpsons. Do you have like a particular favorite episode?
No, but one of my favorite things that's ever happened in the show is when Krusty goes into hiding as a on the wharf as a guy called Rory, and he
Mhm.
gets all tan for a while, and you find out it's makeup, but the kids go looking for him, and Bart walks up to the sea captain, Captain McAllister. Yeah, sure. Like, have you seen this guy? And he inflates a balloon, and with Krusty's face on it, but it gets blown up all weird. And he goes, "Yeah, I seen that guy. He's in here. Dances for nickels." And a little dude comes in with a swelled up Krusty face, and he starts playing the concertina and dancing for nickels. He goes, "No, this guy," and they blow it up correctly so that it actually looks like Krusty. No, I need him.
Handsome Pete.
Handsome Pete.
I've got a brain that is afflicted with Simpsons knowledge.
Ah.
It's incurable.
It is. It is.
Well, all you can really do is make the patient comfortable.
It's true. what is your background with One Piece?
This is the first time I've ever seen this program.
Mhm.
Yeah, with the storyline we've got here, with everyone introducing themselves because they have no memory of who they are. That was that was a hell of a ride.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's a very filler arc. Um, what, who are you for people who are unfamiliar? Because I kind of realized that we forgot to do that. It's a very weird energy there as we record.
Yeah, yeah. Did I even drop my name at the beginning? Marian Gonzalez is me. I'm that one.
Mhm.
I use it's pronouns, but I'm from California, so you can use it's it. I'm a theater actress, puppeteer, and arm wrestler from Los Angeles, California. Um, I once ate 26 McDonald's cheeseburgers in one sitting.
Hell yeah.
That's actually kind of attractive to me in a weird way. I don't know.
Wow.
Something's wrong.
Hey, I'm the one that did it, so it's fine.
I mean, I had one of my nicknames was chicken sandwich because I ate like 12
What?
shredded chicken sandwiches in a single segment. The full nickname was chicken taco sandwich, so I was taco for short.
That is a fantastic nickname. Yeah,
Oh, youth group.
yeah, names that are food are some of the best names.
For people and for pets.
Yeah, for people and for pets. And
Dude.
as with pets, people names and food names are the best. Here's my
Indeed.
brother Douglas and my sister Spaghettis.
Wonderful. Well, before we get into recapping what happened, we had some. Oh no, I don't have access to my soundboard because we're recording in Discord.
Oh,
Um,
Ah,
whoops.
we had some dough mints. Was that a decent dough?
Yeah, I you said the apostrophe.
There. In the last episode, the orange shirt was from Structure. I could not remember what brand it was. And I said South Park instead of Shark Tale as a DreamWorks film. Not sure what was going on with there, but I acknowledge my failures, live in the moment, and get on to Simpsons. Simpsons and One Piece that initially ran from February 6th through March 6th of the year 2005.
AD.
Yes, well, I mean, the BC ones, they lost all the tapes.
Yeah. I shouldn't have. Gotta hang on to those.
Hmm. But yeah, there are four Simpsons episodes here. There was Homer and Ned's Hail Mary Pass, where a video of Homer dancing goes viral. Athletes start looking for Homer to train them. Ned, meanwhile, starts making gory religious films, which become popular. So Mr. Burns starts to finance them. When Marge criticizes the films, Mr. Burns stops financing them. And Homer gets to do the Super Bowl halftime show, has no idea, so he turns to Flanders, and together they put a show on based on the story of Noah, but it is criticized for pushing religion. It's a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, Homer could have really just helped himself out by just, rolling down a screen and just playing one of Ned's movies. They were
Mm-hmm.
they look like shit, but they were certainly more captivating than that weird stage show that he just kind of threw together.
I mean, I feel like the way to get people talking about Super Bowl halftime shows now is just to like confuse them with what's going on. Like when
Yeah.
what's his name got stuck in the maze.
Oh yeah, The Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He was in
We
there.
lost an we lost an entire weekend in the maze.
Yeah. Well, there he was. He just it turned himself into a fun meme at the beginning of 2020 for all of us. Good job, The Weekend.
Mhm. At the time that we needed him to
Yeah.
do that the most. Well, actually, no, that would have been before like COVID's really started to spread in the
Oh,
The before times.
yeah. 2019 AD.
What I really liked about this episode is that it sets up a president that immediately gets used in the next episode, which is
Yeah.
to introduce a fake celebrity and then introduce a real celebrity afterwards, later.
Yeah, like we get a wild mix of celebrities in here, like actual Michelle Kwan,
Yeah.
Tom Brady before we all really hated him, Yao Ming.
Before he
It's
really hated us.
you can't blame him for that.
No.
But yeah, it's a weird criticism of like the Passion of the Christ mixed with bad sportsmanship.
I
It's fine.
I
it-
did
yeah.
I did like that there was a mention for San Antonio. San Antonio cow skulls would actually be a solid name for San Antonio, to be honest.
And
Mhm.
hey, they could be the second team to get their sports name from The Simpsons.
That's
That's
true
right.
because of Albuquerque isotopes, right?
Mhm. Yeah, with their bullshit food menu.
Wow. They don't have the Southwest mango salsa hot dog?
No, they don't. They go wilder. Like they had the Dentist's Delight,
No.
which it sounded awful and wonderful. Um, I will see if I can link you outside of the episode to what they announced for this year. Every year, it's like new abominations that mix Southwestern flavors with the creativity of a drunk, hungry person.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, don't let the hungry and drunk feed you.
I mean, I feel like so many of these sports teams now, they just need to be like, well, how are we going to get people to come and see baseball? If they don't care about baseball, we need to get bullshit food that they are going to watch and get that influencer vibe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what's that one minor league team? The Banana Men, I think. I think it is where. Well, anyway, the Banana Men are not in this episode.
No.
Michelle Kwan is in this episode, and she has the joke that's been in my head for like 18 years, where she gets or Deion Sanders asks her if, "Hey, are you married?" Not in here. I'm not. As she walks, as they're walking inside a sinking boat.
Hmm. The second one that we had here was Pranksta Rap, where Bart disobeys his parents, sneaks off to a rap concert. To avoid getting caught, he fakes his own ransom and kidnapping. Wiggum, feeling reasonably incompetent, has a dream that inspires him to do his job, and he ends up tracking down Bart to Kirk Van Houten's apartment, where he arrests Kirk, becomes a hero, and ends up the police commissioner. Bart confesses what happened to try and do the right thing to Commissioner Wiggum, but Wiggum wants him to keep it a secret. And Lisa finds Bart's concert shirt, tries to pursue the truth. Only Principal Skinner is willing to believe her. And so everyone else who is now better off at this time, including Kirk Van Houten, wants to stop her. They are too late, but then everyone else is kind of like, well, no, we're better off if we just stick with this lie. It's a weird. We want to do an episode that kind of touches on hip hop, but there are no black
Yeah.
people on the staff.
Dan Castellaneta and Harry Shearer have no flow. They do not. Those motherfuckers cannot rap to save their life. Nancy Cartwright has negative flow. That woman cannot fall. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing that perhaps just to preserve the fidelity of the audio recording, they weren't getting playback in their monitors with some kind of beat that they were supposed to follow. But you know the beats that were under Alcatraz at the concert, that was a pretty sick little bit of thumping right there.
When I think like 3 or 4 years ago, they did a two-parter called The Great Fatsby, which was
Oh,
something that they fired Alf Clausen, I believe, as their musical supervisor because it was like, oh, he doesn't have the ability to write rap, and it's something that they've gotten better on. But it's one of those weird things where it's like, yeah, this is a bunch of white people trying to comment on something where they don't necessarily need to.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
looked
mean,
it up,
Hmm.
and
yeah,
this episode comes on only like 6 months away from when we'll first see the Boondocks.
huh?
Christ.
So we were in the area and the mindset of this is a thing that we want to talk about, but it came from the mouth of white people. So it'll take a while for us to see it animated in a way that is from black people for white people
Yeah,
to then misinterpret for years to come.
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna misinterpret this, is do it the right way.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like how it kind of this episode really did just start us off like at the very end of the last one because the first thing we see is a very gory take on VeggieTales.
Hmm.
As yeah,
I think that's more of the whole Passion of the Christ zeitgeist that you had going on, where
yeah,
it's like, how do you get people into religion? Gore, and like even South Park was commenting on it a lot at this time, and yeah.
yeah, and that's another guy we'd find out some fascinating things about there, old Mel Gibson, eh?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Former
fascinating.
guest star.
Fascinating isn't the right word.
Yeah.
For enemy of the podcast, Mel Gibson.
We'll eventually cast his ass on something. We didn't cast him for anything. I think he's come up, but we haven't come to the right person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird episode. I do enjoy the sort of subversion of the, oh no, everyone is happier living the lie.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
then,
just in general, stuff that's about look how cool this incompetent cop is it feels a little funny, even if it's just Chief Wiggum we're talking about.
mhm.
And like, oh hey, cool, he finally did one right. Uh, I don't know. I also just really like seeing Kirk Van Houten have a rough time.
Are you not pro Team Kirk?
Oh no, I think Kirk's great. I just think that he, he's at his best, or really maybe I'm just at my best when I see him having difficulties. Sitting on his chair in his underwear, eating chintzy pop, which is mostly baby teeth. Probably, just as the police come in and take him away. It he they conjure up so many wonderful visual gags with Kirk, and I guess I just like seeing him sad.
It's I'd be interested to see how you feel about where he's kind of steered recently because they do undo the divorce more or less.
Ah,
I
Because
don't like it that at all.
I don't think I care for that.
it's one of those things where he had been divorced for longer than he was married, and I think they were just kind of like, well, let's see if this does anything.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he becomes the conservative idiot punching bag in the modern era of the
Oh
show.
man. I mean, being Team Kirk kind of means reveling in how sad he is.
Yeah. Um, we then have the one we'll probably discuss the most. There's something about marrying where Bart
Oh
and
yeah.
Millhouse unknowingly torment a travel guide who ends up hating Springfield and criticizes the town. So tourism dies off. So they decide to legalize gay marriage, which doesn't seem like you can do it on a town level.
I
Uh,
mean, Gavin Newsom did it years ago. Oh, around around 2005.
fair.
Sorry, Mayor Gavin Newsom at the time, mayor of San Francisco.
Wild. Um,
Yeah, he just said we're doing it here, and do it there. They did.
oh, okay. So he legalized it there. He
Yeah.
didn't ban it. Okay, that's where I had a moment of what?
Oh,
Uh,
sorry. I got confused there. Yeah, no, he didn't ban gay. No, I mean that'd be pretty impressive trick though, being able to ban gay marriage just in San Francisco,
Hmm.
but have it fine everywhere else in California.
So Lovejoy refuses to marry any of the couples, so Homer decides to become a minister online to make money, which is something that my mom, who went to seminary for 4 years, actively hates when people do.
Oh
Uh,
no.
Homer marries all the gay couples that he can, and then he's like, I'll just marry anyone. Patty comes to get married and comes out to Marge as a lesbian, which Marge is uncomfortable with, and Patty eventually just tells her to get over it. Marge ends up finding out that Patty's fiance, who goes by Veronica, is actually a dude pretending to be a woman and is accepting of the marriage until she starts to feel bad that Patty would be living a lie, reveals the secret. Patty turns down Veronica and then heads off with Selma. It's both progressive and it's regressive when you've got a cis
Yeah.
dude pretending to be a woman to do better in sports, and
In
literally
women's
that is
sports, yeah.
it's it's like, oh no, it's the
Here's the thing.
Mhm.
Here's the thing. It's not as progressive as people put it out to be,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because it definitely does the thing that was very popular during the time, where you'll make gay jokes, but the gay person technically has the last laugh.
Mhm.
It doesn't negate
Mm.
all of the homophobia to have that if you in your personal life don't get to have that sweet moment of revenge. Like, you're just left with a show that just
Yeah.
showcases the homophobia that you're going to see in the outside world.
Yeah, I think that is
Yeah, and
valid.
like the fact that Veronica isn't actually a trans woman is just but is instead just some dude trying to cheat at women's sports.
Literally doing an anti-trans
Yeah.
athlete argument. Yeah, it's Homer being willing to marry anyone is great
It's
on a
very Homer.
level.
It's the Homeriest thing ever.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a way that he can make money. He gets another job at it.
It
But
also feels like it equates marriage equality with some of the outlandish things that he was marrying, though.
Yeah.
yes, like incest babies.
Captain McAllister to the well,
Like
I know there's a word for those wooden ladies you see on boats. A
the
figurehead.
bowhead.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
figurehead, the bowhead.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't want them to be like, oh, well, it's been a few years. Let's bring Veronica back and be like, oh, well, she actually is trans now and has kind of come to. I feel like that would be the wrong way. Like, just never mentioning this. And I also don't think that you can really split up Patty and Selma.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, you should never, except for the throwaway gags of like, she married someone else again, and
Yeah.
again, and again.
And more times since you've stopped watching.
Yeah, no, it's great. Then she just gets then she's left alone with the Jub until Patty comes back, Selma comes back,
Mhm.
and whichever one of those growling ladies. Did the bits with Howell Hughes make any sense to y'all?
I don't know who Hal Huser
Yeah,
is.
exactly. It's not a joke that really plays outside of California, or more specifically Los Angeles. Huell Hauser was a man who did travelogues on PBS in the 80s, um, specifically about things in LA. He was this he was in the Navy. When his deployment was over, he found himself in Los Angeles and just hung around. Fell in love with the city and fell in love with it so hard that he got his own show on PBS for like 20 years. just traveling the city, getting very excited about, oh my god, this dog's eating an avocado. Uh, but yeah, that was him who lived the rest of his life with a woman who everyone is pretty sure was his beard in a lovely house in Palm Springs.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm glad I was able to
Fascinating.
learn that. It definitely feels like something that everybody in the writers' room at that time was like, yeah, we were all like alive and available to remember this thing that happened in this particular spot. I'm sure everybody did it.
sure. I mean, the show's called California's Gold, and the episodes are mostly about like hole in the wall burger joints that no one outside of Los Angeles knows. But this joke's gonna kill him. This joke's gonna kill him in the middle of the country.
And all the other people in the room are like, yeah, we live in
Yeah, bud.
California. We're very
Yeah.
familiar with this. I mean, if it was a Rick Steves joke, oh God, I'd love a good Rick Steves joke.
I'm
But
Rick Steves, and it's 420.
it's 420 in all these spots in Europe.
God, that man, I wish I loved anything like that man loves being photographed with a wine glass full of weed.
Ah,
Now that's what I want.
Janine, let's get you a wine glass full of weed.
That, I've been waiting for somebody to tell me that my entire life.
Maybe a nice little snifter, fill it, all the way to the brim with just some nice big fat buds. And yeah, swirl it around, sniff it, and then don't drink it because of course it's not liquid.
I can try. I think I can make it work.
you just eat it like the worst bowl of mini wheats.
Just take a big honking bite out of it, glass and all. Just we're deviating from our original subject in such a way that is comforting because I'm remembering that what we were just deviating from is there's something about marrying, which
The
to be honest, I the one thing I liked about this was Patty because for a weird odd reason, like Patty, like in this episode, felt kind of like transition goals and like how she's
Yeah,
like able to take no shit from Homer and stuff.
yeah.
Hmm.
There's this wonderful shot that's animated from her point of view where she finally flicks the cigarette into his eye. Just her hand comes into frame, flicks it into it, just right into his eyeball. It's such a gorgeous shot.
And me being a lesbian that is not particularly attractive inside of Eurocentric beauty standards, I really did kind of feel a kinship
Yeah.
with her. I wanted to work for her so that I could somehow believe that it can work for me. I also realized that this episode really kind of made me feel self-conscious that of how much like my past relationship really focused on marriage for me, and it
Ah.
never happened.
Well, there is still time. True love is out there, Janine, and we have one
Me
more
and Patty,
Simpsons.
they're still making them. It could still
Yeah.
happen for
They
Patty.
are. And I mean, we do get episodes where it's like, oh, this is the woman who Patty is dating now, and then kind of how that influences the relationships with everyone else. Like there was a good one where they all go to like a timeshare and
Oh
Patty
yeah. Yeah, as a
at
Fortune Feimster as the girlfriend, right?
mhm, popular lesbian actress on TV shows, Fortune Feimster.
Feimster. Yeah, curly haired and gay. That's her.
Hmm. Up there with Paula Pell.
Paula Pell. Ah, yes. So many of our great blonde, curly-haired queer women comics.
I love that every show that she is in, if the show lasts long enough, her wife shows up.
Really, I
Yes.
had not been aware of that. Yeah,
Yep.
no. Janine Brito is uh, yeah. Again, if we're going like with lesbians that are transition in fashion and just altogether goals of some kind, yeah. There you go. Janine Brito hitting the stage, referring to herself as looking like little guy having good time at his bar mitzvah is how she describes herself.
Yeah. AP Bio Paula Pell is wonderful in that, and Girls Five Eva. But we
Mm.
have one more episode of The Simpsons to
Yes.
discuss, which is probably the least of all of these episodes, which is On a Clear Day I Can't See My Sister.
Look, I
Abe,
rewatched this episode this morning and I don't remember anything about it. I'm reading the rereading the recap and I don't remember seeing any of this.
it is such a badly. It is an episode that follows such a strange structure where even the B plot doesn't have steps to it. Abe is working a job at Sprawl Mart but gets injured, so Homer has to step in and does really good at the job. On a field trip, Bart keeps pranking Lisa, so she eventually gets a restraining order against Bart, which makes his life more difficult. Marge tries to appeal the order, but Bart insults the judge, and the restraining order is increased so he can no longer live in the house and ends up going feral. At the Sprawl Mart, Homer is being mistreated, but he finds out that all the other old people working there are stealing from the store at night, and so he joins in the crimes. And then Lisa decides to forgive Bart after remembering that she does love him and forgives him and invites him back. And it's just weird.
Yeah, I'm remembering it a little bit now and I did really enjoy that little piece, that little montage where you see Bart turning into a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Uh just all of those just all of the montages that they do on The Simpsons where there's just no dialogue but some sort of light and airy classical piece plays. Those are all those are always so well done.
They are.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, that's a high point in an episode that is otherwise so forgettable that you could watch it this morning and forget about it by the end of the day.
yeah. Like I knew that there was a restraining order episode. I'd forgotten it was this one. Uh, like, oh, that's right, the restraining order. Jane Kazmarek is there. She's the judge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that boy, you bring Jane Kazmarek out all that way just to have her stand around a little bit, huh?
I mean, this was the point of time where Malcolm Middle was still going on, and so she'd be brought in maybe once every season or two to
Ah.
rejoin her judge who is trans. One of those things where they kind of say it as a
What?
joke, and then it's like, no, this is, yeah.
Was it
It,
like some kind of a throwaway gag where she goes, "Yeah, and I've got a great big one." And by one, I mean my Drangus. And then, because it's just this, throwaway gag, it ends up being part of the lore.
not far off.
Oh, so she said Drangus, huh?
I mean, not Drangus, but yeah,
she
not
makes
really
she
far.
makes the comments of like she used to be like Bart when she was a little boy,
Yeah.
which honestly like is something that Janine would do as way to get attention from people.
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely done said similar things.
It's
You
like
know, oh, tried to raise me as a boy, didn't quite take.
it's like how my sister used to say, "Oh yeah, my dad's in prison," when my dad was working as a psychologist in a prison for a while.
Look, really, a thing more parents need to be able to do is just take professions, just job opportunities. that will give their kids all sorts of excuses to just craft, one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
This is my father. He works at the dildo factory. No, that's my entire joke.
I mean, that's fair. So new characters who we have unlocked include Michelle Kwan, Flipper, Mrs. Pac-Man, Rosemary Chalmers, Actual Mario, Joe Spaghettio, MC Champagne Millionaire, Inky, Blinky, and Space Crocodile, amongst others.
Bless you, Space Crocodile.
Mm-hmm. But now we are on to the One Piece episodes. Episodes 220 through 224, which include You Lost Your Memory? It was taken? Who are you?
The mysterious boy with the whistle and Robin's guess.
Get back your memories, landing on the island.
Zoro sharpens his fangs. A fight with a wild beast.
The memory thief's final counterattack shows his true nature.
That's my favorite Fall Out Boy song.
What happens these episodes?
Not a
Yeah.
lot. So, when all the Straw Hats except for Nika Robin are asleep, a child with a seahorse plays a mysterious noise, and when the rest of the crew wakes up, they've forgotten everything that they've done since they started out on their adventure. Usopp tries to pretend to be the captain of the ship, but Sanji catches on. They realize they have landed on sort of an island sandbar, and currently Robin is the only one who remembers things. She works to explain things to the crew, but she doesn't really know anyone's backstory too close, so they aren't fully convinced. Nami has no idea why she's on here, steals all the Skypian gold.
I like that Usopp looks like a lot of the girls I have crushes on. I mean, they seem to have designed this fella to look like a lot of the kind of string beanie, just sort of curly haired, white trans women that make me stupid. I don't think that was specifically on purpose just for me, but it's very appreciated.
I mean, his mom pretty much looks like a female version of him, so.
Oh,
Mhm.
well. Oh, pardon me.
She does.
Oh, well. Trauma.
Mm-hmm. So Nami leaves the group and takes the Skypian gold on the waiver back because she wants to buy back her village. And she ends up on the village that is on the island where nobody knows what's happening. Robin puts the clues together that what happened is related to the folks falling asleep and the mysterious boy. That night, Robin and Sanji stay up, drinking coffee, run into the boy and his seahorse, and Robin wakes up the rest of the crew. So the boy tries to use the seahorse to physically attack the pair of them, but he does this on Luffy's masthead spot. Luffy attacks the boy, and that causes the seahorse to restore Luffy's memories, and the boy disappears, and Luffy plans to get his crew back. It's
Look, if you say that little dude is a deer, that's a deer. But I know a dog when I see one.
the fact that he is a Tanuki dog is recurring.
Oh, he's not a deer. He's a Tanuki
No,
dog.
he is a reindeer. He is a reindeer, but people think he's a Tanuki dog. He is a reindeer that ate a human fruit.
Oh, that's right. The human fruit from the devil tree?
No, they're just devil fruit.
Devil fruit.
Mm-hmm. So Drim, which is the boy with the seahorse, tracks down Zoro, who wandered off, but he's afraid to initially approach him. In the morning, the crew needs to move from the sandbar where the ship is to the island, and we just get some Tears of Kingdom raft building, which is the second arc in a row where they've just had to show their ability to poorly build ships. Which, if I
they're sailors, not shipwrights.
No, they need to get a shipwright.
Yeah. I mean, eventually they have to get a ship right. Wordplay, Liz Lemon.
The next one is where they are actually going to get a shipwright. So, One Piece. So Nami wakes up at the inn that she stayed in. Nobody at the inn knows what's going on. Luffy and the rest of the crew find her in the town. Luffy explains he got his memories back and eventually convinces Nami to help them look for the boy. Robin finds a glyph and starts leading everyone to the Sea God's palace that exists on the island. On the way, Chopper and Usopp get separated from the group, run into Zoro, who's just wandering through the woods, and eventually that leads to Zoro finding Luffy and the rest of the group, and Zoro tries to cut off Luffy's head. They're like, oh, hey, Zoro's acting strangely, so Luffy fights him for real while the rest of the crew keeps heading towards the palace. Nami is suspicious and tries to convince the others to go back to their homes with her. Only Usopp wants to go initially, but he relents in the end, and Nami realizes that she forgot to grab the gold that they had stolen.
Mm-hmm.
So Robin explains from the ruins that there's a monster on the island that feeds on memories. She assumes the monster keeps eating everybody in the town's memories every day. Drim reappears, preparing to hypnotize Usopp and Nami, but Robin protects him. Sanji kicks the seahorse, which releases more memories, this time to Drim, who had been carrying the seahorse around. He runs off. The seahorse tries to run away. Sanji kicks it again, restoring more memories, and then Zoro appears without Luffy. Meanwhile, the rest of the village has their memories back. Drim returns to his mom and it's like, I know who stole all these memories.
You know it's his mom because it looks just like him too.
Uh-huh. That's just genetics.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Noko, which is the name of the seahorse, orders Zoro to attack everyone, so Sanji steps in to defend them. But then Luffy comes flying back in, slams into Zoro and Sanji, and it turns out that Zoro had his memories back the entire time. He was just being weird. So Zoro ends up fighting the seahorse while Usopp narrates it, which is a solid bit. The seahorse blasts Zoro with a gas cloud that causes everyone to hallucinate people who they have lost or left behind, except for Robin, because at this point in the show, we know nothing about Robin's history, which is why that is happening. That is context.
He looks like a JoJo. I don't know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but she looks like one of them. I don't know if that's on purpose. I enjoy that all the characters look like they're kind of drawn differently. The overall effect is kind of monstrous, and I enjoy it.
Oh, they get wilder, and the next crew member is going to be even stranger. But yeah, like we know nothing about Robin's history. Nothing had been written or revealed so far, so that's why it's Robin is immune to these effects for story purposes.
Oh.
So then the seahorse ends up summoning images of enemies that they fought, and it turns out that it really wants to use the memories from the Straw Hats and everyone else to turn into a millennial dragon, which in this case means it inflates like a massive balloon and everyone loses their memories again. Luffy wants to ride the dragon, springs up onto it, wraps it up, and forces out the memories again. And Luffy, with his memories restored, is angry that the dragon is taking memories instead of making its own memories and just beats it up and launches it across the sky, where it loses all the memories it collected. The party heads back to the village, hoping for a reward, but Drim sends the villagers after them, blaming them for stealing the memories, and Nami being willing to murder people in a filler arc just drives a waiver through everyone before they sail off.
Is she normally not so murderous?
No, and like
Normally, nobody dies, and Janine is angry about it.
Oh, I like this for her.
the last time that she tried to murder people was the last filler arc that dealt with millennial dragons or millennium dragons, where she tossed a guy off a mountain waterfall, and that guy probably died.
Oh yeah, she Reichenbach'd him, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, except that she survived and didn't have to come back by fan popular demand years later against the wishes of a creator.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this arc was based on two different video games.
Mm.
Ocean's Dream and Dragon's Dream. which if you're going to do a video game, you need some way to get like villains who people want to see to show up. And this kind of set the score for almost every other One Piece game with an original story where it's, oh, we need someone who can bring back old villains and make people fight each other, which is
That's
what it
gonna be a
is.
that's gonna be a seahorse every time.
Mhm. One time, I think it's a magical book that turns into a tanuki.
And what is a magical book but a type of seahorse of the shelf? I mean, a
Real,
seahorse, of course, he carries his young, for his partner, and what else would you call the letters printed on the page, the little ink babies upon the page of this book?
the real magical book is the seahorse we made along the way.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's very much filler. We get a few decent bits, but nothing really important.
And that's for me that's fine.
Mhm.
I just like seeing weirdos be weirdos.
Well, then One Piece is something that you will enjoy because it is a
Sure.
whole bunch of weirdos. There's dudes who eat each other. There's dinosaurs.
Ah,
There's
big fan of a dino.
there's robots. It is a fascinating series that has over 1,000 episodes.
Yikes! Yeah, 20 years of this. You said. I mean, that's
Hmm.
The Simpsons is going pretty close to. It started to gain on 40 years.
I mean, it's over 30 years, but
Yeah.
depending on where you count the Tracy Ullman, but also like One Piece surpasses the episodes of The Simpsons.
Ah,
Hmm.
more of those consistently produced, I suppose.
Yeah, One Piece, for better and for worse, becomes a franchise where they need to do episodes almost every week.
Wow.
Hmm.
Do they just run out of manga at some point?
Yes.
That's where we're
Uh,
in, baby.
All right.
well,
Oh,
we
that's
aren't
right.
in the
You said
bad
it's based
part
on
yet.
two video games, not based on the manga. Wow.
Hmm.
Is there a Hostess a snack cakes ad equivalent in Japan that they could base episodes on?
There is a high school AU for ramen.
Oh, good. Oh, good. And are these the versions of themselves as they would appear on the packaging for the ramen?
Yes, and it's like a more watercolory style.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is a thing I really enjoy. I really love the backgrounds on this show. Yeah, that wonderful watercolor style. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a Richard Scarry book in some spots, and there's some bits in the forest where the trees are falling. That reminds me a lot of a Mary Blair painting.
I can see that. They lean a lot more heavily on the watercolors early on, and then I
Yeah.
think they move to more of a digital setup. But like some of the stuff I've seen from recent episodes, and I'm not up to date, but I'll see clips, is absolutely beautiful. Because they
Mm.
kind of went from, well, we're doing this every week, but if we can make the animation baller as hell, the fact that we have to slow down the story doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, well, we have two characters to match for this week, Drim and Noko, both of whom are unimportant and we will never see any of them again.
Not once.
For Drim, my Rodrigo style suggestion was the Super Bowl one Tuba Man, just a single person who was the first Super Bowl halftime show. My other suggestions were Blow the Horn Kid and Stan, who is a shitty student who, in the episode where Bleeding Gums Murphy teaches Lisa to play the blues, he's like, you're nicer when you smile. What a
Oh
piece of
my
shit.
gosh. Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going with just characters that from the bits we watched.
Nope,
Because
you can.
if that were the case, As Drim, I would have said perhaps Alcatraz with his 20-foot plasma television in his shoe closet that he uses to entrance all the fellas.
Mhm. No, I mean, if you take him from just the episodes we watched, that is called Rodrigo style from another guest who
Ah,
went for just stuff from the new episode. But you can suggest any. Do you have another suggestion then for Drim?
let's see. Well, obviously he's not going to be like a like a Nelson. This man's not going to be like one of Lisa's friends, Janie. Um, no, Drim is Terry and Sherry. Drim is there at the periphery. He's doing something. You don't know what it is. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You won't like it, but don't worry about it. It's nothing. It's unrelated. But they know what they're doing. Terry and Sherry do. Don't worry about what they're doing. Where did
Fair,
they go? Ah, it's okay. It's fine.
fair enough. Janine, who are your Drim suggestions?
I only have one,
Uh huh.
and that is Kid Burns, the
Which
younger, uh, the not the one with the bowl cut and the stupid bear, the one with the curls.
who's there when his grandfather catches the man stealing atoms?
Yes,
Turn out your pockets. There's an atom. There's an atom.
Ooh. Well, what's this? Bada, 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 bada. I have to do all the soundboard things myself, Janine. It's rough.
I'm
Um,
enjoying it though. So please, shut up and make the sound again.
bada, 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 bada.
That's the
That's
stuff.
the that's the sound that the snail phones in the series make. We got suggestions. That one welder guy and Mike P are both in favor of Gabbo, and King
Hmm.
Atticus, friend of the show, suggested the Fourth Doctor. I like Kid Burns. Like that energy is right. The hair fits. It's the right amount of
Well,
asshole and child.
I feel like I'm the only person that like really kind of like really swung for child, and when I saw a child with kind of a longish nose, I was like, that looks like the Burns boy.
I mean, two of my suggestions were children, Janine.
No go.
Well, are we good to go with Kid Burns for Drim?
Yeah. I mean, I think by this point, Lard Lad is probably taken.
I feel like he has come.
He's
Yes,
definitely come up a lot.
yeah, John Giant.
Ah.
Yep, Kaylee got that one in. Um, so yeah, we have our Drim. We then have Noko. Janine, who do you have for Noko?
Well, for a Rodrigo style, I got the Blinky from the Black Lagoon. A Blinky this episode, this set of episodes that comes out that is um styled after the creature of the Black Lagoon, kind of.
Yeah, Blinky's been working out.
I believe you mean a Gill Man or a Gill Blinky. It doesn't. Uh, Written down as Blinky Gilman, which
Blinky
sounds.
Gilman.
I mean, that's his name, Gilman. He
Well,
he used to he used to be the director for Regis and Kathy.
Unfortunately, he just went through a bunch of stuff with his family and needed to step back for a bit. And now, like, he's getting over the divorce. He's out there, but he kind of wants a new project to throw his, like, heart into.
Ah, all
Good for
three of his
Blinky Gilman.
hearts.
Mhm. Did you have a non-Rodrigo suggestion?
I did. I had two more suggestions. I had thought very long and hard about this one.
Mhm.
I went with Maggie Chew, the Maggie Pikachu hybrid that was inside of the anime Couch Gag
Mhm.
last season.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
And then my favorite psychic in The Simpsons, the original Bart Simpson.
So
I know
Tracy
you
Ullman
can read
Bart.
my thoughts, boy. Meow
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 meow.
meow 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 meow
Marion, who do you have for Noko?
Well, like I was saying, originally I was gonna have a Lard Lad for that, but Lard Lad, of course, has already been taken. But a creature who's grabbing at your memories, controlling your nostalgia, that's probably gonna be that and then hurting you with them. Ultimately, that's gonna be that giant devil from that same episode, like the
Oh,
giant actual Satan.
oh, I thought you were going to say like the Willy Spider
The Willy Spider.
from the
Ah,
Nightmare on
right,
Elm
from
Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
You're
You know
talking
what?
about.
You know what? You know what? Yeah. Groundskeeper Willie, parentheses, haunted version. That's our no-go.
So I believe the Red Devil you're talking about is from Red Devil Realty.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Nightmare Willy.
Nightmare Willie.
I have two suggestions. My Rodrigo style was the space crocodile that Homer had as his Super Bowl idea.
Oh, that's a good one.
That
Because
is a
I
really just brilliant crocodile too.
because I love the idea of just instead of a seahorse, it's uh like I guess Kid Burns carrying around a crocodile dressed as an astronaut.
Just
The
just the most
other
joyous crocodile you've ever seen.
the other idea that I had was you know how everything will be great under the sea?
Under the
Lisa
sea.
plays a seahorse as a horn in that
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Once again, trying to win the dog contest by bringing in an actual dog. It has failed me before, but I
No, I'll allow it. I know I don't have the jurisdiction to do that, but I'll allow it.
I mean, Janine, are you willing to go with seahorse horn?
Hmm. I really love Space Alligator. I really love Seahorse Horn.
Space crocodile is beautiful. I'd be fine to go with either of
Yeah.
those.
I mean, the space crocodile is a space crocodile,
Mhm.
and he looks the way he does too.
He looks delightful. I would love him to
Yeah.
steal my memories.
I'm going yeah, I want to I want to I want to befriend this crocodile. I want to learn more about him.
We want to make
He
Mike. We want to make Mike draw the space crocodile.
yeah.
Yeah, I really do. I
All
When
really
right.
do.
when he's not in front of us stealing our memories, we want to be asking, where is Space Crocodile and whose memories is he stealing?
Hmm. Like we won't remember what he's stolen from us, but we'll remember the absence of the space crocodile.
Yeah,
All right. Well, then our Drim is Kid Burns. Our Noko is Space Crocodile.
there it is.
So you are sold on giving One Piece a shot.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'm a little late to anime myself. Being in your 40s means that anime. You still have this perception of anime as this thing that's difficult to seek out, and a thing for true connoisseurs to enjoy. And you're either one of those or you're not, because it's going to be like a just dense and inaccessible.
Mhm.
But you know, these days all the kids are anime kids.
And all the adults can be anime adults.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we have accomplished our mission. Dun 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 dun. Wow.
That's a sound clip he usually uses.
Is
Also, the
is that
sound
from
clip is
the
normally
commercial
his
break I
voice.
catch?
No, that was my sound clip that we invented for Sexy Cat Marge Watch
Oh.
before we got to Cat Woman Marge Simpson from the island of Dr. Hibbert.
Oh boy, that is an upsetting episode.
But we also get canonic transplanters. He's got others that need milking.
Oh, I don't like that. I
Liz,
dislike that so much. I think I hate sex now.
and knowing's half the battle. Uh, all right. Well, where can people find you online?
If you're still on Twitter, unfollow me and block me on Twitter. If you follow me, I will block you at the Gonzalez. I'm on Blue Sky. You can also as the Gonzalez. Find me there and follow me, and I will block you. I will also block you if you try to perceive any of the things I post on Instagram as Mrs. Martian. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can follow me there if you like, as Marian Gonzalez. I don't update there very much. I probably should. It's a great place to put your lewds, nudes, and all kinds of dudes.
That's what I've been doing wrong on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Janine, where can you be found?
um, well, I'm still on Twitter. You could find me there at Janine Juliet. I'm also making my way to Blue Sky. Have not posted Drangus yet, but that is also Janine Juliet.
Oh, that's
Ski.
all that's getting posted over there. Yeah. Sorry, Janine. Sorry.
It's
Wait,
Drangus City over on Blue Sky.
yeah, Drangus is your dog Angus dressed up like a dragon?
That sounds so cute, though.
It does.
Um, damn.
Is this episode just going to be called Drangus?
God, maybe we
I
said a
feel like
lot of
that's
stuff.
I feel like it's bad for the SEO. No one's going to be searching Drangus until now.
Someone, if they do,
Hmm.
we're gonna be the number one hit.
Yeah, or I mean, you could find another more SEO friendly appellation for the bits. I mean, there's Chongas. There's Wedding Tackle. You could call the episode Wedding Tackle. There's Twiggy Berries. That's one. There's the stuff.
Oh, I
The stuff.
I don't want to pay $3,295 for Drangus.com.
Oh, well, there you go. It looks like there's already a built-in demand for Drangus. The people know
That
it. The people want it. The people
The
yearn
people
for Drangus.
demand.
okay,
They
I can get
demand
Drangus.
Drangus.
I can get Drangus.org. They capitalized it as Dr. Angus. I wonder if I could get Drain.gus. That sounds awful. Luke, I'm mostly just replying to people on Twitter at Coltreg, KOLTREG. I'm more active, quote unquote, on Blue Sky, where you can see me tweeting thoughts about old school 1940s Human Torch and Submariner comics. Mostly, I wish that Submariner had his submarine airplanes still,
Yeah.
and I'm very upset about every person who's like, "Hey, you can't stop me, Human Torch. I've got an asbestos suit." It's like, "Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. I've got bad
I'm
news. He's you're eventually going to leave that suit, and you will get the shit burnt out of you, and also
now you have
you may
cancer.
have a lawsuit." Yeah, yeah. Um, you can go to my website, lukehair.com, or you can find my LinkedIn, which hire me to do other different stuff. Our show covers are currently illustrated by Mike Patton, who you can find at Patton Pending, PattenPending on the Instagram, or Mike is also Patent Pending on Blue Sky, where we need to get him to post more.
All
But
right.
Mike is wonderful. Thank you for listening to this episode of DohMance Dawn. You can visit our website at dohmancedawn.com. And we have a Tumblr still, even though that is no longer our primary way of posting. And there's a Twitter because I'm prioritizing getting people off of Twitter and Facebook and onto Blue Sky before I make a DohMance Dawn account. So, thank you for listening. Marian, thank you for coming on the show. You have been a lovely guest. You have been a handsome guest.
Yeah, I'm more lovely than handsome, really.
Okay.
But thank you.
And thank you for setting sail with us. We'll be back in 2 more weeks. Where guess who's coming back, Janine?
Me?
No, Foxy's coming back.
I'm not coming back next week.
I mean, you're coming back.
I'm
in
sorry
2
you have to
weeks.
find out this way.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
replacing
no.
you. We're replacing you with racist Jim Cummings Italian impression. But yeah, no, Foxy's back on the next episode. So see you then, as we also have the stakes risen higher than we've been before. Smooth sailing. I mean, what defines a rodeo? Is it any show with horses?
Oh, not just any show. It's a specific kind of show. I mean, and to be more specific, what I went to would be called a charreada, which is like a Mexican rodeo.
You saw a Mexican, a rodeo.
Rodeo. Yeah, but horse stunts. Some guys are gonna ride a bull real good. Some guys are gonna ride an angry horse real good. Some children are gonna lasso a calf real good. Some guys in a clown outfit, they're gonna jump in a barrel. And if it's a Mexican rodeo, they're gonna do all these things in a 3-piece suit.